Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am back. I hope you all didn't miss me too much. I really hope you all did not miss me too much because I am here and I am still here by the grace of God. That is right, people. It is by the grace of God that I am still here today, here with you on P Stars Radio. The time is now 10:06, and I am here to give you all the news regarding sports. Now, as you all may know, I am here with you on a Friday morning instead of a Saturday morning. So for all of you that are not aware, I have now changed my shows from Saturdays to Fridays because of my school activities and everything for that matter. So it's only temporary for now. It's not going to be a permanent thing. It's just for the time being for the fall semester of my school year. So just wanted to break that to anyone who has not been aware of this or hasn't known about this yet. My shows will now be on Friday mornings at 10 o'clock for now. Just for now. It's not going to be a permanent thing. It's just a temporary thing. So I just wanted to break that to you. Now, first things first, we can't start this conversation without Stephen Curry. We cannot start this conversation without Stephen Curry. Why? Because Stephen Curry is the man. Yep, I said it. Stephen Curry is the man. He is the MVP. Truly the MVP. Of every of every show, every movie, every game, every match, whatever it is, man. That is who Curry is. At least to me. I don't know about you guys. Anybody that's watching, I don't know about you guys, but that is what Curry is to me. The MVP. But do you know who the real MVP is? Can you all guess who the real MVP of everything is? It doesn't matter if it's sports, life, politics, life, whatever. Can you all guess for a few seconds who the actual MVP is? I'll wait. Got an answer yet? Well, I got an answer for you. The real MVP is our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, God. That is the MVP. And never forget that. Jesus is the MVP, and then after that comes Stephen Curry. So for Stephen Curry, he has now received a contract extension to play with the Warriors for 1 year, with that contract being $62.6 million. Now, if I'm being honest with you, I think Curry, him playing with the Golden State Warriors for so long, he has made the Golden State Warriors franchise a $1 billion industry facility. And I think it's ever since Curry stepped foot into that franchise, he has made that franchise a $1 billion industry. Because it's Curry. Curry, he's just a magician on the court. The greatest three-point shooter of all time. I mean, it's nothing that you couldn't expect anything less from Curry, bringing something like this to that franchise for the Golden State Warriors. So to think that they would offer him a $62.6 million, I don't know, man. I think he deserves more than that. Am I wrong to say that? Do all of you watching think I'm wrong to say that Stephen Curry deserves more, even if it is just a 1 year contract? I mean, I don't know why they would just keep it. I don't know why they would just offer him a 1 year contract, though. I mean, granted, Curry will be turning 38 if I'm not mistaken, soon, right? He will be turning 38, so it's like, do they plan on keeping Curry on the Warriors for only 1 year? Or is Curry thinking of, leaving? I do not want to think that, because that is kind of scary to me that Curry would ever think of leaving the Warriors. Granted, we just lost Clay, to the Mavs, and to think that we have to lose Curry too, it is a very terrifying feeling for me to ever think that Curry would be leaving to go play for another team. I don't want to think about it. I don't want this to keep crossing my mind too much. But a 1-year contract, a 1-year deal to sign with the Warriors, I don't know. It kind of seems a little bit, iffy to me. But a $62.6 million contract is, I don't think, enough for what Curry does for this team. So I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but that's just something that has crossed my mind. But yeah, Curry, he will be receiving a 1-year extension with the Golden State Warriors of $62.6 million to play for this upcoming season. So I think I brought this to you guys before. I brought this up before. This year, I think I might be a bit optimistic here. But I think Curry needs to get one more. He needs to get one more ring. And I think that the Warriors are going to do it this year. Yep, I said it. And I'm not taking it back. I'm just not taking it back. Curry will get one more ring this season with the Golden State Warriors. I'm calling it. It is what it is. Any hater that's watching me right now that thinks that I'm crazy, I think you're crazy. But yeah, moving on. Lonnie Walker the fourth is also set to sign a 1-year contract deal with the Boston Celtics. Yep, that is correct. Lonnie Walker will now be joining the Boston Celtics for this season in the NBA, being after exiting his free agency, because recently he has played for the Brooklyn Nets, and before the Brooklyn Nets he has played for the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, Lonnie Walker is a very, very skilled player. Like, especially during his time with the Los Angeles Lakers. I think during the playoff series when he played with the Los Angeles Lakers, this man has been putting up a lot of plays, a lot of scores, a lot of buckets, a lot of assists. Like, this guy he's been doing the most. This man, Lonnie Walker, has been doing the most on the court, and he's shown out. He's shown out for sure. So, with his skill and his talent being added onto the Boston Celtics roster, I think with him they can make another run for another NBA title. I think he can make another run with the Boston Celtics for another NBA title, because again, with his skill and his talent being added onto the roster, playing alongside Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Al Horford. Even though Al Horford is, at that age of, getting ready to exit out of the league, no smoke to Al Horford. He is a very talented player, of course, but he's making his way out of the league, or maybe he still has some more left in the tank. I don't know, but yeah, with Lonnie Walker's skill being added onto this group, I think it could make a big difference on them making their next, run for another championship for 2025. Who knows? All we have to do is just watch and see. But that's what it looks like for Lonnie Walker going on to this upcoming season for the NBA. Now, we're gonna switch things up a little bit here, right? We've been talking a little bit about basketball and the NBA and what they got going on. And not to say that we're leaving that, but we're going to switch it up a little bit, and we're going to, turn our attentions to the NFL. Now, I myself am not a huge NFL kind of guy, I watch it here and there, I pay attention to some of the, big-time players, big-time plays and all that stuff, but we're going to turn our attention a little bit over to the rookies that have just been drafted into the NFL for this season, along with some of the vets as well, right? And so first we're going to look at the first round, the number 1 draft pick for the NFL, Caleb Williams, who is a QB for the Chicago Bears. And during their preseason of the NFL, he has not disappointed. This man, Caleb Williams, has not disappointed any of the general staff of the Chicago Bears, coaches, fans. This man has been doing what he was supposed to do, or what he is expected to do for the team. For his preseason average, he has averaged 8.5 yards per attempt. Now look, man, him coming, out of college and, putting up averages like this for the Chicago Bears, this leaves the Chicago Bears confident in his skills and his skill set, coming into the regular season of the NFL. Do you think that something like this, could give them a run to go into the Super Bowl for this upcoming season for the NFL? What do you guys think, right? Because, again, this is a preseason, or I don't know if I brought this up before, but this is the preseason, right? And what we know about the preseason is that it's not really anything big or crazy or significant as the regular season and the postseason of the NFL going into the Super Bowl. So this is just here to show a lot of the skill sets and, give a little insight of what the players got or what the players have in their arsenal coming into the regular season of the NFL. And for Caleb Williams' averages and coming into the preseason, for yards per attempt for the preseason, there seems like pretty decent numbers for the team or the general staff or the whole organization in general to be confident in this man's skill set coming into the regular season of the NFL. So, hey, these are some pretty decent numbers from this guy, and there's more to be expected from him coming into the regular season of the NFL. So, keep an eye out for Caleb Williams, the number one draft pick of the 2024 NFL. Next, we got up Jaden Daniels, who is the number 2 draft pick of the 2024 NFLs, playing for the Washington Commanders. Now, this guy, let me tell you, this man is going for a 12 of 15 for 123 yards. Let me say that again. This man is going 12 of 15 for 123 yards for his preseason. Now, this seems pretty good. Pretty good for this guy, man. Jaden Daniels, another quarterback for the Commanders. This man is showing promise. This man is definitely showing promise to the team, the staff, the organization. This man is calm, cool, collected, out on the field, doing what he needs to do to make up nice plays, nice reads, calmness, whether he has the ball in his hand, out of his hand, whatever. This man showing that he actually belongs in the NFL, right? 12 of 15, pretty decent numbers. 123 yards. Yeah, this man is no joke. I think this man is showing confidence out there too. And that's something that you need to have as a player, as an NFL player coming into the league. And that's, I think, for every sport really. You got to have that confidence. If you don't have that confidence, you can't put up the numbers that this guy's putting up. If you don't have that confidence, you can't be in the league. If you don't have that confidence, you're not going to have that grit, that dominance. That's what you got to have when you're going out on that field, is dominance. People got to know that you're there. They got to feel your presence when they're coming into that when they're coming onto that field. That dominance, that confidence, you got to have it. And that's what Jaden Daniel has. And that's what he's coming with for the Washington Commanders. So keep an eye out for Jaden Daniels coming into the regular season of the NFL. I, for one, I'm going to keep an eye out for this guy too, for sure. Again, I'm not really that much of a NFL or football watcher, for sure, right? I'm not really that much, what's the word? Focused, I guess I can use, for the NFL as a lot of people are. I don't know if you guys, the viewers that are watching, I don't know if you guys are that well versed into the sport as well, but I'm definitely going to keep an eye out for these few players right here. Jaden Daniels, I'm definitely going to keep an eye out on this guy. So, yeah, that's for sure. And then our third draft pick for the 2024 NFL, we have Drake May, who has been drafted into the New England Patriots. And for this guy, it seems that there has been a few hiccups here and there for the player for the preseason. And again, this is the preseason, so anything that happens in the preseason isn't really that much significant, right? As it would be for the regular season and the postseason. But coaches, players, and fans want to get a good perspective and a good eye for what kind of talent that they're going to be receiving from these kind of players, right? And so for Drake May, as he has had a few hiccups here and there, right, he has still been putting up some very decent numbers on the board for himself, especially with the game that he had against the Washington Commanders, and when he went for 13 of 20 for 126 yards during that game. Again, he went 13 of 20 for 126 yards going up against the Washington Commanders. Now, these are some good numbers. He's almost trying to go right. It seems like he's almost trying to go toe for toe with Jaden Daniels, right? Because Jaden Daniels went 12 of 15 for 123 yards. But I don't think this was a game going up against the Patriots. I think that was a separate game, but it seems like he's going toe-to-toe with this guy as Drake May puts up 13 of 20 for 126 yards. Now, with that, keep in mind, this is just the preseason games, or these are preseason games. But, again, these are some good and decent numbers for Drake May, as he's putting them up for the New England Patriots. This guy, again, I think I brought this up for Bronny James for the Los Angeles Lakers. You got to give these players time. Give them time, because, these guys are coming in cool, calm, collected. They're coming in with their talent, and they're being them. That is the most important thing, especially for all athletes for whatever sport. When coming in and playing, you want to just be yourself. Do you. You don't do things out of the ordinary. You don't do things that that are not you. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to do things that you don't normally do during practice, or things that you're not normally comfortable with. You want to be yourself, be calm, cool, collected, aggressive, confident, like I brought up before, confident, have that grit, have that determination to go out there and let everybody know that your presence is out there. Make your presence known to the players, right? And if Drake May keeps that up, right, keeps these numbers up or better, right, I'm definitely sure that he is going to wow fans. Definitely, especially for the New England Patriots, and the coaches. He's definitely going to wow a lot of people. He's definitely going to wow a lot of people. People are going to have their bad days and their good days out on the field. It is what it is. But again, this is the preseason. Give him time, and then come the regular season, he's going to show out for sure. He's going to pop out, show out, do everything he's got to do to let everybody know that he belongs in the NFL. And I, for one, think that this guy belongs in the NFL as well. So I'm definitely going to keep an eye out for these guys. Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Drake May, all of them. I'm going to keep an eye out for them for sure. Now we're going to go to NFL Super Bowl predictions. Now, I want to know what you guys think will happen for this upcoming, for this next year's upcoming Super Bowl, right? These are predictions now, right? I don't think we've even started into the regular season of the NFL yet. So these are just predictions. But I want to know, what do you guys think? Do you guys think that the Kansas City Chiefs are going to make a three-peat? Because this is now their second their second straight Super Bowl championship win. And we're talking about the Kansas City Chiefs here. Their second straight Super Bowl championship win, right? I think the year before they were going up against the Jets, right? Or no, I'm sorry, forgive me, the Philadelphia Eagles. The year before, you had Patrick Mahomes and the rest of the team going up against Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles, and they delivered a defeat to those guys, winning the championship then. And then this year, they went for the Super Bowl again, going up against the San Francisco 49ers, and they got another championship then. There. So that's 2 straight championships in a row for the Kansas City Chiefs. Do you guys think that they're going to come with another three-peat? Or I said another three-peat. But do you guys think that they're going to come with a three-peat for next year? Because, again, Patrick Mahomes, I don't think it looks like he's letting up. Now, I don't think correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think any one team has gone for a three-peat ever in their Super Bowls. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not exactly sure myself 100%, but I don't think I've seen any team go for a three-peat in a championship run. Could this be the first time we see a team in the Kansas City Chiefs go for a three-peat this year? Who knows? I don't know, because look, the stats that Patrick Mahomes came in with for this year's Super Bowl, going up against the 49ers, this man had 333 passing yards. 333 passing yards, 66 rushing yards, and 2 touchdowns. And I think this is just for, the recent Super Bowl against the 49ers. But just in that game, 333 passing yards, 66 rushing yards, and 2 touchdowns. Listen, man, Patrick Mahomes, he's him. He is definitely him, and it doesn't seem to be the case that he looks like he's letting up. So who do you think, if there's any team that is able to stand up against the Kansas City Chiefs and put a stop to their championship runs, who do you think that team will be? Who do you guys think will be the team that puts a stop to the Kansas City Chiefs on their championship Super Bowl runs? I'm curious. I want to know how you guys feel about it. I want to know what teams that you guys have in mind that could potentially put a stop to Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. Because if not, this can very well turn out to be a three-peat for the Kansas City Chiefs. And that, in my opinion, will be crazy. But I want to know what you guys think, because this definitely looks like it seems to be the case for the Chiefs. And I'm just prepared to see what it's going to look like again for next year, 2025, in this NFL Super Bowl. So let me know your thoughts for the Super Bowl in the NFL. Now, we're going back to the NBA, and we're going to do predictions for this one as well, right? And the prediction that we're going to make for the NBA is going to be about the NBA Rookie of the Year, right? So I have 5. These are my personal, choices of who I think might be this year's or this upcoming year's NBA Rookie of the Year for the NBA. And my contenders I have are Reed Shepherd, which if you haven't watched the NBA Summer League, you would know why I'm picking Reed Shepherd as a contender for this upcoming year NBA Rookie of the Year. We also have Stephon Castle, Zach Edey, Dalton Connect, and Matas Buzelis. Again, I'm going to give you the names again. My personal contenders for this year's NBA Rookie of the Year: Reed Shepherd of the Houston Rockets, Stephon Castle of the San Antonio Spurs, Zach Edey of the Memphis Grizzlies, Dalton Knecht of the Los Angeles Lakers, and Matas Buzelis of the Chicago Bulls. These are my 5 personal contenders who I think will have a chance at this year's NBA Rookie of the Year. These guys have been showing promise, definitely, throughout the rookie season, or the NBA G League, Summer League, right? These guys have been showing promise, talent. These guys are looking like, professionals already at just their first year into the NBA. The regular season hasn't even started yet. Again, this is the preseason. Well, no, I take it back, not preseason. But this is the NBA Summer League. This is for the coaches to see and scout and, get a feel for the players' talent, right, and their athleticism on that court. And so far, from watching these guys play, these guys have been putting up good numbers, good plays, and just all around, aggressiveness. Because that's another thing, again, for the NBA. Not only for the NFL, but for the NBA. You got to have aggressiveness. You got to be calm. You got to have confidence. You got to have that grit. And let your presence be known on that court. Let everybody know that you are here. And let everybody on that court know that you are him. You got to let people know that you are him. On the court, off the court, wherever. You are him. You are that guy on that court. And these 5 players that I personally chose as contenders for the Rookie of the Year, I think these guys showed it. Definitely showed it. They may not all have had, dubs throughout the entirety of the Summer League, but these guys definitely show that they had the skills and they have what it takes, to potentially take their team to whether it is the playoffs or the finals. These guys definitely have what it takes. So keep an eye out for these guys. I'm pretty sure one of these guys that I chosen for my pick for the contenders of the Rookie of the Year, one of these guys are going to be chosen. Definitely, for sure. I have a feeling that one of these guys that I chose are going to be Rookie of the Year for the NBA this year. So who knows? I might be proven wrong, but I'm confident in the names that I chosen. Me personally. All right, so I'm gonna let off with this, right? That is all the news and information that I have for you for sports for now. So I'm gonna let off with a Bible verse as per usual. And the Bible verse that I will be letting off with is Philippians chapter 2, verses 3 to 4. Allow me to repeat that again. The Bible verse will be coming from Philippians chapter 2, verses 3 to 4. And it reads, "Do nothing from selfish ambition or conceit, but in humility count others more significant than yourselves. Let each of you look not only to his own interest, but also to the interests of others." Allow me to read that for you once again. And it reads, "Do nothing from selfish ambition or conceit, but in humility count others more significant than yourselves. Let each of you look not only to his own interests, but also to the interests of others." Now for me, personally, this verse brings about you being a selfless individual, a selfless person, right? Normally nowadays people, and I think I'm guilty of this myself. More people nowadays have an individualistic, persona, right? More people are in tune of what's best for them. People always think about what's best for them, only worrying about themselves and thinking about themselves. And at times it's understandable. I get it, right? Because in order to worry about other people, you also need to make sure you worry about yourself as well. But I think that at times we must also learn to be selfless and have a selfless a selfless mindset, whether it be to our family, to our friends, or just people in general. God has called upon us to be selfless and to think about others more than we think about ourselves. Care about others more than we care about ourselves, right? Because it's all about being humble, right? We want to be humble. We want to be selfless. We want to turn away from selfishness more and more as the day goes by. Because at the end of the day, you know, when we refuse to reach out our hands to help others, we can't then expect people to reach out their hands to help us. If we don't wish to help others, we can't expect others to help us, because it's a give and take. It is also said in the Bible that we must do unto others as we want them to do unto us, right? Do unto others as we would want them to do unto us. It's a give and take. You got to be selfless, and you have to be less selfish in our lives, in our daily lives. Again, for everybody, not just for friends, families, but for everybody, right? Because what we do for others, we're doing for the Lord. Always remember that and think about that in everything that you do, whatever actions that you have planned out, right? What we do for others, we're doing for the Lord. So when you help out a brother, when you help out a sister, you're helping out the Lord. When you give to your brothers, when you give to your sisters, you give to the Lord. When you give to your enemies, when you help your enemies, you help the Lord. Right? It doesn't matter who it is, what you do, or whatever. When you do for others, you do for the Lord. You do for the Most High. You do for God. Why? Because God has done for us. With everything that we have regarding food, clothing, shelter, family, whatever it is, all that is because God has given to us. God has done for us. And so when we know that God can do for us and God is using us, we also know that God can do for other people through you. He can do for other people through you, and God can use it. And when we are used by God, it is a blessing. And we must look at it as a blessing, because God, as we know, is capable of doing anything and all things. So remember, for all of you that are watching, be selfless. Be kind, right? Don't be selfish. Don't just think about yourself and only yourself. Think about others as well, because as followers of Christ, we are all one. We're not 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever. We are all one in Christ. So remember that, okay? I will see you all again next Friday at 10 o'clock. Remember, it's not Saturday for the time being, but it will be Fridays at 10 o'clock on this show to come and talk to you about everything that has to do with sports. So I love you guys, and I will see you guys again next Friday. Not Saturday, but next Friday at around 10 o'clock. I'll see you then. Bye.